So in the next module, we're going to build on our concept that we're talking about of incentives and just get you to confront human nature for what it is and how humans are actually quite predictable beings. Whilst we are great in many ways, we're also prone to certain errors, mistakes. One of them being we are prone to the phenomena of self-deception, right? And thinking we are smarter than we are, which is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And likelihood is, unless you are a deep subject matter expert, and even if you are, the likelihood is you've got your own lenses that may not be mirroring objective reality as keenly as perhaps they could be. So let's get into it. Incentives, self-deception. The world is the way it is because it is profitable and it maintains order and aligns with those who benefit most from it being the way that it is. And this isn't a conspiracy, it is just simply the nature of people. Incentives, right? Because people who are very vital and strong and free thinking and ambitious and want to shake things up happen to be very difficult to govern. What we then have is a overall overarching governance system and methods of control and hey, a a situation where there is no rush to create human liberation and flourishing because the way things are benefits a lot of people monumentally. So, what does that look like? When biology collapses, markets expand, entire industries of medicine and pharmaceuticals exist, and the consumer for that, and indeed the product, is you. And if you are no longer taking any medications, on any treatments, if you're using the tools that we talk about in the breakthrough engine to be not only biologically thriving, but also in terms of your emotions and traumas that we also work on recovering and restoring and creating equilibrium and being in a life that makes us happy. And further to that, mindset's a big thing in our community. When you develop really superior mindsets and belief systems and change the algorithm in your brain, or you can frankly be a truly autonomous and free agent in this world and go where you want to go and be who you want to be and exert your will. And that's really fucking cool because that's the beginning of true self-love, true self-esteem, self-mastery. As closest we can really get to heaven in this world, I think. But there is no rush to free you from your chains because absolutely billions of dollars are spent maintaining this infrastructure and profiteering from it. So when your biology collapses, markets expand, industries continue to thrive, continue to dominate, employing the world's sharpest and most brilliant talent to maintain this and implement like enormous monumental campaigns to like engineer science and communications and advertising to keep the exact status quo that exists. Every system that fragments us is maintained because it's profitable, because it benefits some people, an awful lot. Pharma profits from symptomology. Food industries profit from shelf life. Your cells don't. Tech profits from inattention and mental health and insecurity. You don't. Energy collapsing creates a very stable global order, a very repeatable business model. When biology fails, the balance sheet wins. You need to wake up. That's all I need to say here. Think about this. Think about the physics of dependence here. Every prescription is a bandage on electron link. It's just suppression of symptoms. If you become well and vital and whole, you don't buy a prescription anymore. You don't go to a doctor anymore. You're kicking ass like a rock star. The food industry profiteers from mitochondrial chaos. Processed foods, extending shelf life, calories, and all this bullshit is just creating electron loss. The longer it lives on the shelf, the shorter you live. And you being stuck on your phone keeps everything exactly the way it is. Disconnected from this world, disconnected from what it even is to be human. We are wasting our time in this world, quite literally. We are not even... The deal that we're promised when we're born, the tacit social contract of the pursuit of happiness and liberty and life and health and abundance, we're not even participating in the world where we can get that. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. This is a very sick population because it benefits those who are making astronomical sums from this. The biggest industries in the world, with the most influence and the most control of norms, of how we see the world, of how mass control technologies, want it to be exactly this way. Want it to be exactly this way. And that's self-deception. That is the incentives. Companies are here to make profit. And that's their responsibility as a business, to maximize shareholder profitability. And your responsibility as an autonomous human being is to maximize your happiness, free will, self-love, enjoyment of life, mission, meaning, purpose. It's all those things. That's the human North Star that we should go towards. But companies don't work that way. And it's fine. We get it. There is some consumer benefit, sure, but not at the expense of the entire potential of the human animal. That you can decide to not participate in. That you can decide to not victimize you. You can decide that. You can make a decision. Understand the things I'm teaching you. And wake up. And on the other side is freedom. That's all I've got for you. I'd like you to look at this video from Dr. Chris Palmer on metabolic psychiatry. And I'd like you to look at the economics of chronic disease and just how much monumental amounts of money is tied up with things being exactly as they are.